With us this morning is Carla Spalding, who is a conservative Republican and African-American leader, active in politics. She's campaigning against former DNC chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz and has found many Latinos are scared of the Democrats' embrace of socialism after having fled it. And she's with us this morning to talk about that. Good morning, Carla. Great to have you in. Finally, we missed out yesterday because we got a wrong number sent to us, and you were so gracious, and I appreciate it, and it's great to have you in this morning.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me on today as well.
We're watching the movement from Iowa to New Hampshire now, and then later on, and we're seeing people like Bernie Sanders getting some traction, talks about being a democratic socialist. And there are a lot of Democrats who seem to be kind of saying, well, that's not where we want to be. Talk a little bit about that as you're viewing it right now.
Well, I can tell you from the perspective as from Florida, we have approximately in South Florida, 1.7 million foreigners, and which many of them had fled their countries due to socialism and communism.
Right.
They understand the danger and the threat it poses to the American people. So for those, I think, who are listening, we need to really understand that the socialism destroys families, destroys the country, and remember that the government will take control of your independence. You cannot afford to have that.
As you get out there in the campaign trail, and I'm sure that, in other venues that you're going to, I'm sure people ask you, well, how do you see socialism? How do you define it? How do you define socialism from your vantage point, Carla?
Okay, well, by definition, socialism is actually a political system that ultimately just takes away the rights of all the citizens and is controlled by the government, as China. So I always tell people, look at China and see if that's how you want us to live. Is that how you want America to be ran? So I think that's how I see it. It's dangerous, and it's very, very un-American. So I believe that the Democrats have completely lost their minds, and we have to find a way as Republicans to educate the younger population who believes it's okay, because it's not. And the Democratic Party is not the party of, like, Kennedy. It's now, I'm not even sure what to call it. So we just need to wake up America and recognize we've got to get the Republicans back in the House. One of the things that I think is so important for our leaders, and you're obviously a leader in your community already before you even run for office, but I think it's important that we teach people and the sense of independence, that we do as much as we can for ourselves, and then the little bit that's left there that we can't do for ourselves, let's extend that out, and then, yes, government can get involved there, like security, for example, and yet we have people who say, no, security is not that important. For example, the illegal alien kind of situation that we have. And you look at that and you say the areas where we'd like to have them doing the job, they don't seem to be doing that great a job. But we should not be preaching dependence. We should be preaching to people about becoming independent in this country with freedom and liberty for all. Am I wrong on that? No, 100% correct. But you see, you have to recognize that with the Democratic Party, the leaders actually, they are more for open borders. They're not for the American people. I believe they value the illegals more than they actually value our veterans, homeless veterans, or schools, and just America in general. They put us last. And how can we even support that? Guys, we just can't. We can't allow them to take over a country and we live by their rules that are not even conceivable.
And yet we find Republicans on that same thing looking for cheap labor when it comes to, for example, people coming in the country. And so, to me, both sides are at fault here if you're doing it for reasons other than are you trying to get liberty and freedom for all. So when someone comes into this country, from my standpoint at least, I want them to have the same rights and freedoms and liberties that I have, not some rights and some liberty and some freedoms, and then someone threatens to throw you out of the country because you're illegal. That doesn't seem to be the way we had this whole thing set up, was it?
Well, times have changed. And at this point, I think our president is doing a fantastic job. Mm-hmm. We have to put America first and its citizens first. Yeah. So whatever that means, ultimately, that should be the drive. And without putting America first, how can we expect to take care of anybody else? It makes no sense. We can't keep supporting everyone other than making sure, like you said, this country's free. We have jobs, appropriate jobs that people can find, which obviously has been working now. And the illegals, it's a big issue. And I also believe they will be the downfall of this coming 2020 election. They're giving them driver's license. And in Florida and many other states, all you need is a driver's license to vote. There is no cross-check to see if you actually are entitled to vote. Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, the cutting down of standards is one of the things I think generally that bothers people in this country, that every standard that's there, it seems like we got to take it away. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's what we ought to be doing. And it sounds like you're kind of in the same boat. About 40 seconds left. Final thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Final thoughts? Well, I would say that whatever you do, make sure that you research what exactly socialism and how will that contribute to your future, your children's future, to this country. I am from Jamaica originally, and I came here as an immigrant, and I did perfectly fine, and look at where I am today. So I encourage everyone to stand up, do the best you can, and support your family and this nation. Support our president. That's what I would say. Support the values. Reinstill those back again. And thank God for blessing America. And we cannot forget that. And I am Carla Spalding, and I'm running for Congress against Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Okay.
I believe she's the head of the corruption. We got to get her out of there.
Okay, Carla, thank you so much. A lot of passion there, and we appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you so very much.